The monetary reform is an agreement. It is comprised of many different parts. The best part I can give you as an example would be Article 140. Article 140 is the agreement for the HCL to be given to the citizens through the budget. Nothing is stopping it. I know the HCL is agreed upon. I know Article 140 has taken care of it. Iraq is in a fragile status. Anytime there is a concern about external forces upsetting Iraq's progress, we feel obligated to inform IQD investors. The situation in Syria is more urgent than most of us realize. Video quote: "The takeover of Aleppo by an Islamist rebel group, the US has designated as a terrorist group, has alarmed residents and officials in neighboring Iraq. Residents in Mosul are particularly concerned, as it shares a large border with Syria. Mosul was overrun and ruled by Islamic State militants from 2014 to 2017. Residents in Mosul are concerned the fighting in Syria might embolden rebel sympathizers in Iraq. From insider news and other sources in Iraq, I have more confirmations that they are trying to having it done by December 10th and Victory Day." It made me feel really good to hear this from another source or two. E-payment team: Iraq will witness a major electronic transformation next year. TV showing guy talking saying the approved amendment to the budget will allow the citizen to receive their payments. Frank, there it is. That budget is the key. That budget has the exchange rate. Charitable remainder unitrust. If you prepare a CRUT right now, you can place the amount of dinar you hold on the Schedule A, then you have it notarized. Now you wait until the RV so you will know what the currency conversion is, and fill in the amount you want to receive from the trust monthly, biannually, or annually, and go online and register the trust and receive a registration tax number, and go to the bank and open an account in the name of the trust. Then you make your exchange and have the money deposited into that account. By doing this, you will pay a maximum of 10% tax guaranteed. That 10% can also be paid as much as 20 years out. At the end of the trust period, I've written about 300 of them. There are 2 million in force right now in America. The tax code is for everyone if you chose to learn and use it. Banks are the most traded sector in the Iraqi market in terms of value. Quote: "The Securities Commission announced today, Wednesday, that the banking sector was the most traded on the Iraq Stock Exchange in terms of value for the third quarter of 2024. Deadly Dutch disease. It's when countries are reliant, solely, on natural resources. When commodity prices drop, their budgets get affected. It's very painful. It's bad because it devalues their currency because they don't have the ability to buy and pay for things and pay back debt. But if you have non-oil revenues, tourism, development, road project, ports, taxes and tariffs, you can win." They used Saudi Arabia as an example because they were successful using non-oil revenue streams. That's what Iraq is poised to do, and it's an awesome thing to see. She said, "Well, that's what we do. As soon as it appears on my screen we will exchange." That was a couple months ago. This past weekend, my wife got a message on her phone. It was from the assistant manager. She said she wanted us to get in here and get you an appointment with the wealth manager in preparation for what's coming down the pipe. Frank, we're now at the point where it's no longer, it's a scam. That nonsense is over. When are you going to have this meeting? Mr. Don, we'll probably schedule for this upcoming week. This is a bank story at the next level. It's no longer a scam. It's no longer they don't want to talk to you. It's, we want to talk to you as quickly as possible. Mr. Don, midsummer, I had a small and seldomly active account. I brought up the subject of the dinar and the fact that I thought it was going to be a significant increase in value. She said, I've heard some chatter about that, and I've had a number of customs come in and inquire. I'm not sure what's going on. I asked her, any event that occurs, do you expect you would be involved in exchanging? Vietnam's trade surplus has strengthened and they will be pushed to increase the value of their currency. Their currency just isn't strong enough, which allows them an unfair advantage in international trade. Article: Vietnam's soaring U.S. trade surplus stokes new fears of Trump's tariffs. Will they scale back in trade, or will they raise the value of the dong in comparison with the dollar? Leveling the playing field. They are actively talking about raising the value of their currency. So, what is this dream of Al-Alak? Al-Alak has told us he strongly supports the dinar of the past and will bring it back to its glory days. This is the ultimate goal of all these financial reforms and pillars Iraq keeps talking about. They are all just a means to the end. The end is the reinstatement, a byproduct of all this hard work of financial reforms. The Iraqi parliament presidency announced, on Sunday, the postponement of the parliament session due to the lack of the legal quorum required to hold it. This came according to a brief statement received from the parliament's media department. For his part, an informed source told Shafaq news agency, a directive was issued by the leadership of the coordination framework to members of the House of Representatives not to enter the council hall, in a move aimed at preventing voting on the general amnesty law. The source added that the coordination framework representatives boycotted the current session, which caused the legal quorum to not be completed and delayed the convening of today's session. While the debate continues over controversial laws such as the general amnesty, the State of Law Coalition ruled out that these laws would be discussed in the Iraqi parliament session today, Sunday. The coalition's MP, Firas al-Maslamawi, stressed that the absence of political consensus may lead to postponing these discussions until the next legislative session. Political observer Sabak al-Akili considered, on Saturday, the visit of the head of the Progress Party, Mohammed al-Halbasi, at this time, as raising many question marks and he must be questioned, indicating that al-Halbasi seeks to be present in the political process after Parliament excluded him. Al-Akili said in a statement to Al-Maluma agency, al-Halbasi's visit to Washington in these circumstances that the region is going through has many suspicions, indicating that some leaks indicate that al-Halbasi went under the title of the leader of the Sunni House and may propose a deal with the American side to create a Sunni region in exchange for normalization with the Zionist entity if that happens. He added that it is not unlikely that there will be a discussion about starting to establish camps for Palestinians in the western regions after the Palestinians are displaced from Gaza, and the West Bank after their lands are confiscated and the Palestinian presence in Gaza is liquidated, noting that during this visit, Halbasi presented himself as a political tool for external parties and is seeking to have a presence in the political process by the American side after the Iraqi parliament excluded him and he must be held accountable. It is noteworthy that the head of the Progress Party visited Washington where he met with American officials, including a member of the Foreign Relations Committee, the chairman of the Security and Defense Committee, and the chairman of the Intelligence Committee in the U.S. Congress.